Welcome, and we're getting a 2-minute head start. So, Greg, your timer should be happy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We will start as we always do. Is Mrs. Osborne with us? There you are. We'll start us with an invocation. Thank you.
First, I want to say a word or two. Thanks again for that kind welcome to Erlanger, and all of you to the welcome to Erlanger. I'm glad to be serving here, and I'm glad to be at my first board meeting tonight. So thank you. Yesterday, one of our resident chaplains got sick, and he was the one, of course, scheduled to be on call that day and that night. He ended up in the Erlanger ED, and he's okay, but it meant that he could not be on call. So I thought it would be good for us as leaders in this department to take some time to be on call, which of course for me meant I hardly knew where anything was, as someone who's as new as I am. But I thought that would be good. So I took a couple hours at home, walked my dog, and came back, and Keith Munford, our program director for CT, for Clinical Pastoral Education, took the first couple of hours. And he was called immediately almost to our emergency room to be with a 29-year-old young woman who was in a terrible car wreck. She was 37 weeks pregnant, and he was with her as her baby was delivered, not literally with her, but with her and the baby's father. And the baby, it was not sure what would happen to that baby. Today died. But he was there and cared for that family. And I got back from the dog walking, and I got called immediately to the emergency room for a man and for his family, a large family, who had a big brain bleed and who was not expected to live. And I was with them, listened to their stories about him, prayed for him, prayed with them, was blessed to have the experience of being with a wonderful neurologist here who was kind and respectful to the family as he offered options to them about what could be. And it was a great reminder to me, and I guess all of us need to be reminded a little bit to remember again what's important and why we're doing, not just chaplains, why we're doing it, but why we're here tonight, and why we're doing it is because those patients who come to us on sometimes the very worst day of their lives, oftentimes, they're in the center of what we do, of course. And I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes it does help me to be just reminded of that. Let's pray together and be reminded. Gracious Holy One, remind us again that it is your work we do here. Your work we do as chaplains, your work we do as board members, your work we do in each of our roles, and guide us always in that doing, we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much. Everyone has in front of them and should have received ahead of the meeting our agenda for this evening. So I'll ask you to look over that, and if you see anything we need to add or adjust as we go through, please let us know. Do have a wonderful announcement. We have a new trustee, Dr. Steve Engel. He is not with us tonight as he was just appointed, I believe, officially earlier this week, and has previous engagements, but he will be joining us. He's the chancellor over at UTC, and I think he's a very, very wonderful addition to our board, and potentially a really great connection as we build stronger ties between Erlanger and UTC. Will be a real wonderful addition to the board going forward. Also, Linda is not with it. Linda Mines is not with us tonight. She's under the weather, so thoughts with her and her family this evening as well. With that, we will move on to our presentation for the evening. Dr. Keyes is going to walk us.
Thank you very much. And in keeping with the theme of what our chaplain just shared with us, first of all, you have something in front of you that Jed Mescon has put out, a little bit about our facts about our hospital. So thank you, Jed, for putting that out there. You can look at that. But for right now, I want to draw your attention to the screen. Paul, I'm going to get you to pull up. We have a couple of snippets about patient experience and about Erlanger that I want to share with you.
I got on the web and started searching for who could do an anterior hip replacement in this area, and everything that came up was Dr. Higgins. And I sent him a picture of me climbing a glacier, so it was great. It was, the difference was just phenomenal, getting rid of the bone-on-bone pain. I wished I'd done it much earlier.
October of last year, I had gastric bypass surgery. I thank God. I mean, because, when you're laying in the bed and you can't get up, it takes a toll on you.
My husband and I really thought was wonderful about East was the convenience of the location. Obviously, when you're going into labor, it's sometimes stressful, so getting there quickly and finding parking easily was very helpful for us.
I tell people all the time, I said, I wouldn't go anywhere else except Erlanger North. That's my little hospital. And they find out what's wrong with you, and they cure you, and you walk home in about an hour.
On the 30th of May, I had the procedure, the TAVR procedure, and then here at Erlanger, and 2 days later, I was out of the hospital, and then 2 days after that, I was driving, and within a week of the TAVR, I was scrambling eggs for the men's breakfast at our church.
My sister was flying from Miami to Atlanta on Delta Airlines, read in Delta magazine that Erlanger Hospital had just hired a CEO that had vowed to make Erlanger the #1 heart institute in the country. And they had also hired Dr. Shears, which was the #1 robotic heart surgeon in the world. They airlifted me up there, and the next day I had heart surgery. And then the next day, they had me up and walking. So the recovery time is like 2 days versus 4 months. And then Harris, again, my youngest son, the golfer, sent NetJets to pick me up from Chattanooga and flew me back to Dothan.
I think she's lucky because she's got an incredible mom, too.
I try.
You believed in the doctors in this area. You believed in the Children's Hospital. You believed in these surgeons.
I put my daughter in their hands, and I don't regret it. I will always be thankful for Erlanger.
When I asked Doc Singh, I finally got around to asking him, I said, okay, let's talk about, my life from now on. And he says, where I come from, you've got a cure. I love doing Santa. This year, I'm playing Santa for the people at Erlanger, and the reason why is it's time for me to give back. I need to be able to give back what Erlanger gave me, which was my life back.
Watch a video. I was hoping the patient would be here by now, and I don't see her, so Miss Kimsey's not here, I don't think. Okay, I'm going to read this letter that she wrote, and this is really special to me. First of all, it says on our handout that Jed put out here that we serve 50 counties. This is a patient that came to us from Bradley County. She actually lives in Cleveland. The second thing about this patient is she's a nurse. And so she speaks not only from a patient view or a patient family view, she's speaking from a provider or a nurse view. So it says to Erlanger nursing staff, I just wanted to send a note to let you know the nurses who gave my husband commendable care with stellar kindness and compassion will never be forgotten. They touched our hearts and comforted us during the darkest moments of our lives. They offered my family reprieve during the worst moments. They were there checking on us, kept us informed, and updated on the changes of his condition. During my husband's passing, I was so blessed to spend time with him, holding him with peace and dignity. I bet you don't get enough thank yous for that and may be completely unaware of the significant difference they make in the lives of patients and their families. Thank you again to the ER Stroke Center and the medical intensive care staff, especially April, Paige, Rosemarie, Christian, and Doreen in case management. These are the ones who wiped my tears, prayed with me, and just took the time to hold me. You now occupy a special place in my heart, and a place that is high in honor. I love to know that Erlanger will be in my county soon. And this thank you, family of James Kimsey Jr. He was here March the 9th through 13th. And this is from his wife, Vicki. And she said, certainly if I don't make it, please read this. She said, I'm not sure that I can make it and read it, but I wanted to read it to you. So you see, we are reaching out. And it's important that we be in those places that our neighboring counties. So.
Thank you, Dr. Keys, and thank you to everybody who helps make that happen I know it happens every single day here. Seems like a little bit of a awkward move to go on to approving minutes, but we will we'll plow through the agenda. But we will take a look at our last month's meeting from March and the minutes, and if anyone has any adjustments or additions, let us know. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve and put those in the record.
So moved.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of approving the minutes from March 22nd?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Thank you very much. On to committee and subcommittee reports. Mr. Haas, did Budget and Finance meet this month?
Yes, we did. Don't have a report, but we do have a resolution that we'll get to in a few minutes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Griffin, Planning?
Yes, we met on Monday. No report.
Thank you. Mr. Smart, Audit and Compliance?
We had a good meeting today, got a lot resolved. Well done.
Thank you very much. Mr. Webb, Legal Committee?
Oh, no. Yes,
Yes.
you met.
You did meet?
yesterday.
Okay. Any resolutions?
Next month.
Next month.
Yes, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. I'm going to look to Greg. Did MBEC meet this month? We did not? Okay. Wouldn't expect it. And the executive committee did meet, although we have one resolution of board committee assignments that we'll review here in just a minute. Any other unfinished business for the board or anyone else here? Okay, with that, we will move on to our resolutions. Mr. Tabor, with resolution 18401, looks like we're adjusting investment guidelines.
Thank you. We took a quick and in-depth review of investment policies for public hospitals and tried to pull out best practices and compare them to ours. One of the things that we found that was missing was allocation into the 1 to 5 year corporate bonds that's rated at least in the aid category. And so we are making a recommendation to add this to our portfolio for a maximum of, at any time, of 30% of the portfolio. And we're also requesting that the U.S. agency mortgage-backed securities be changed from a maximum of 50% of the portfolios to up to 75%. It gives us that guardrail of what we can do. We believe, obviously, past history doesn't predict future earnings, but we believe that this will bring at least an additional $300,000 to $350,000 of investment income on our investment. And this is the what we call the depreciation fund for our investment, which is right at $107 million that we have currently in investments.
Any pertinent questions from the Budget and Finance that
We
bring up?
basically concurred that this is the proper thing to do. We didn't actually pass a motion on it, but we had no objections to it.
I like the idea, $350,000. I'm all in favor, and I make a motion to approve it.
A motion to have second?
I'll second it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Thank you.
opposed or abstaining? Thank you, Brett. The next resolution is approving the board committee assignments. This adjustment adds Mr. Sattler to both the Planning and Budget and Finance committees. We will likely see another resolution just like this next month, adding Dr. Engel to his appropriate committees. It's a pretty straightforward resolution, but we do need the board to approve the addition of committee assignments.
Could I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
On this, all I have found was the bylaws or the rules about our standing committees. Are you talking about the actual appointment of people to committees?
Yes, this resolution is just appointing Mr. Sattler to two committees.
That's all it is?
That's all it is.
Okay, thank you.
We usually do it all at once a year, and put
Right,
people on committee
right.
since he just joined.
Right, okay.
I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll move that we accept
Have a motion, have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Need to abstain.
You're welcome to, but you're on the committees now, so it's not going to help you.
Close.
Yeah, good try. Yeah. We, as always, have our informational items that are available if anyone would like to speak with Britt on any of those. And with that, Dr. Sizemore, love to have your Chief of Staff's report.
I have no report tonight.
Okay. Dr. Shack?
There's a lot going on at the College of Medicine. As you all know, I've mentioned in previous meetings a number of searches for department chairs as well as a new dean for research. The new dean for research has been hired. He starts next week, actually on May the 1st. The pediatric chair has been filled. It's with Dr. James Woods, who's currently at Charles Woods, who's currently at the University of Louisville. And he's coming here starting around the 1st of July to begin his tenure as the new chair of pediatrics. As a result of Dr. Court stepping down, we're going to appoint him as the assistant dean for faculty development. He will also be the quality officer for the Children's Hospital, at least for the next several months, if not a year. So that's good. Now, the search for the family medicine chair is underway. The search firm has found us about 7 or 8 excellent candidates. That committee's now reviewing those and they'll decide who they want to bring to campus to interview. And then we're about to close out the search for the emergency medicine chair and also the urology chair. Those are very near completion. And so other than that, things are going swimmingly. We're having a meeting, Mr. Spiegel may mention this as well. We've been going through the conflict resolution process for the past few months, and we have a meeting with the consulting firm that was retained to review a lot of the things that were in that complaint or those concerns, and we have that meeting in the morning with them, with the Erlanger leadership and the UT leadership coming from Memphis and here, as well as the consulting firm.
Great.
Where's the Dean of Research?
Yes.
What will they do?
They will oversee all the research efforts on this campus. That individual will also be the director of ICER, the Erlanger clinical research effort. And so this was a joint hire between the hospital and the medical school. He'll be the associate dean for research, and he'll also be the medical director of ICER. And so he'll have a lot to do. As you all know, there's a lot of research going on this campus, but it's always been sort of siloed. We hope that with Dr. DiGiorno in place, we'll be able to coordinate those efforts and get some better cooperation between different researchers and departments to help improve the quality and quantity of research that goes on here.
That's great. That's going to be an important hire. Other questions? Dr. Shack? Thank you, Dr. Shack.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Stewart.
Mr. Spiegel, CEO's report, please.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I just want to let everybody know that we relocated the Southside FQHC clinic from St. Elmo, from Southside to St. Elmo. The grand opening ceremony is tomorrow at 11 a.m., and I hope to see everybody there. We have an affiliation with Vanderbilt University for Vanderbilt's perfusion program, so they will be rotating through here, and we are expecting our first students to start their 10-week rotation starting May 14th. That is a wonderful addition to our clinical activities. Dr. Charles Wood, as Dean Shack mentioned, Dr. Charles Wood has been named Chairman of Pediatrics and Chief Medical Officer. He is a native of Alabama and graduated from Stanford University. He completed his residency and fellowship at the other UT Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas. So we are really excited, and I also want to acknowledge Dr. Court, who's in the back of the room, for his service of leading the entire pediatrics department and the construction of the Children's Hospital. Thank you, Dr. Court. Murphy Medical Center, we assume full responsibility on April 1st. Stephanie Boynton is leading the initiative. She's been named interim CEO until Mark Kimball starts as the permanent CEO on March 4th. He is a rural healthcare executive with over 20 years of experience. He is currently the Chief Operating Officer at Northcrest Medical Center in Erin, Tennessee, and he previously served as a trustee for the Center for Rural Health with the Georgia Hospital Association. The ribbon cutting ceremony for Murphy Medical Center is on May 22nd. Hamilton County Schools, I don't know if Dr. Billmore Smith is here, but he was earlier. Dr. Billmore Smith and Dr. Dorset presented to the Hamilton County School Board. It was unanimously approved that we will then be providing athletic training program for all of Hamilton County schools. So congratulations to that department as well. Another significant acknowledgement, and I know she is in the room, Liz Appling was named recently by Becker's Healthcare Review as one of the 50 great African American leaders in healthcare to know. We want to also acknowledge you for that award, and it doesn't stop there. Liz was also one of 6 Chattanoogas honored this past week at a night to remember with a legacy award. So congratulations. Well, how do I continue on this role? But I can. The Believe Bash. Believe Bash was a huge success with over 1,200 people in attendance. It has likely grown to be the largest fundraising event in Chattanooga. I'd like to personally thank Don Mueller, Julie Taylor, and Jed Mescon, and all of our volunteers and everybody that made it a success. It was like a ballet. In a pour down rain, in an airport hangar, it was the most elegant reception I have ever experienced in my career. So congratulations. And I also second what you said about Dr. Engel joining the board. It's basically building bridges between this entire medical campus and the University of Tennessee for Chattanooga. So I only see this as really taking it to that next level. So congratulations, Dr. Engel. One last vote of confidence for this whole board. The Chamber of Commerce, a little self-disclosure, I am on their board of directors as well, but they did rank all the top employers in Chattanooga, and Erlanger has now made, for the first time in history, the #1 employer in Chattanooga. And for economic development, by us continuously hiring and recruiting people to this community is a testament to what we're all doing. Mr. Chairman, that is my report.
Thank you very much. I do have one additional report right to follow up with that. Wanted to, Mr. Spiegel reported to the Audit and Compliance Committee this afternoon, and I want to make sure the whole board is aware. He has been appointed to First Tennessee's advisory board here in town, which I think is a great honor and frankly a great testament to Kevin came here 5 years ago We Chattanoogan's are a very tight-knit group of people, and Kevin has joined us, and this is one of many steps towards Kevin becoming a full-blooded Chattanoogan. It is a board, Kevin. It's an advisory board for First Tennessee. It is paid with a small stipend. Don't get jealous. Kevin's going to be donating it's a very small stipend. Going to be donating to the Believe campaign.
To the Children's
To the Children's Hospital. Yeah. So, congratulations, Kevin. That's an honor. And everyone does know their upcoming meetings: Budget and Finance on May 21st, and our board meeting on May 24th. With that, we are going upstairs for credentialing. So, with that, we're adjourned.